I think it's a wonderful expression of community gathering, and the veterans certainly don't object to being recognized.
Well, it's a real pleasure and an honor to be invited. I think it was very nice of the people who are organizing this to invite military as complimentary guests tonight. And I look around and see all kind of great-looking people, some great athletes, and I think it's just a wonderful event. You know, I think Manatee County, Bradenton is more and more on the map all the time, and it's great that people are starting to realize that we really do have a paradise here.
Yeah, I think everybody's in the same mood, and I need to give a plug to IMG because they are the foundation for I think for attracting more and more quality people. I just like to have them remember that there was a lot of sacrifices that occurred, and lately it just seems like the communities have put that on the back burner, and I think that seeing the newspapers and the press has really come forward to remind everybody of why and how we have our freedom.
What about you, Colonel?
Well, I echo the same thing that Colonel Graves said. The sacrifice that was made by literally thousands and thousands of people in order to protect our freedom. It is the greatest generation, always will be, and we can never, ever forget what they did to make us the great country that we are today. So I'm glad to see it continue to be observed, and I hope it will be even more so in years to come. As we lose more of these people every day, there's not that many of them left, and we owe them a great deal.
I'm here from the Installation Management Command, and we actually have the World Class Athlete Program, the Army's World Class Athlete Program, that's part of our command. So we have soldiers, active duty and reserve and guard soldiers that belong to us that are on various sports. And we actually have 3 on the national team, modern pentathlete team. 2 will actually be competing in the World Championships on Saturday. So in a spirit of support and partnership, I'm here today as a guest of the USOC because we sponsor our soldiers and we allow them to come and compete. And so we're very excited about what they do, what their contribution is, and being able to support them in person. Yeah, so just as an aside, I was a member of the 1984 Olympic team myself, the team handball team, the women's team handball team. And so as part of that, being soldier athletes is absolutely part of our DNA. And so when you have elite athletes that can contribute, it's their perseverance, their dedication, their ability to work on a team and be part of a team. It's such a synergistic approach to it that we're allowed to have a small number of soldiers that can contribute at that level. And so it's very exciting to be part of the whole thing, to support the nation in another way as part of the Olympic movement, as well as being part of the national teams. And then for these 3 fine soldiers, their World Championships is the pinnacle right now in preparation for the 2016 games. Well, the sports certainly appeals to the military, since the whole pentathlon movement was actually in the equestrian movement for our nation was actually spawned out of the military. And so tonight, this tribute to the military is really great for us, you know, to have our nation say thank you for the sacrifices that we do for the men and women, not only as athletes, but also as members of the uniformed services. And so to see the Vietnam veterans, the Korean veterans, certainly the Gulf War veterans, and the members of the Reserve and the Guard that are here as well. So I think just that whole spirit of being part of the nation, contributing to the nation, again, that being soldiers and then supporting our nation, not only in war but in peace, and then having them also be recognized for this national perspective. I just think it's a warm outpouring. This is my first time in Sarasota, and it's awesome to see the folks and have them know what they've done to get ready for the pentathlon and to host the International Forum is awesome. I'd say just thank you very much. Thank you for persevering, for being part of, at the time, the war to end all wars, but to send a foundation where we had volunteers as well as conscripted service, and that you were there and you helped bring peace and democracy to many nations that still exist in the world today. And I just, my hat's off to you, and you're a model, and we emulate you in all of our training and in our thinking back and reviewing history, so that we can prepare for ourselves for modern war as well as modern situations. And so I just thank you.
We always try to support community development projects, and this is a phenomenal Sarasota project. And we hope it helps economically and with tourism and commerce. So it's our pleasure. It is. I think the vibe is in the air. I think everyone's very happy to have it happen and come to fruition, and we're thrilled that it's starting. Well, I think Florida is a state where exercise is certainly something that people do and think is important. And with the pentathlon and 5 different sports being represented, this is really perfect. We're very strong in swimming, obviously, in Sarasota. The horseback riding is a very strong element as well. The running is something people do everywhere on the streets. And I think people are just very happy to have this come to our town and create another gem in our city. The military is what is our backbone and strength in the United States, and is something of great pride, and we are thrilled to have them here, and we wanted them represented. So it's very, very important to have the military as well. I love horseback riding, so the stadium jumping is my favorite. But I think the laser gun part is my son's.
Well, it tells you a lot about what Sarasota Bradenton can offer. It's a true Olympic city. I mean, it's an international city that everybody, when they come here, they're blown away by it, and we have a lot to offer. So this is just a good example of what we can provide for all the athletes. It's pentathletes, rowers, the list simply goes on. Well, we actually have the Sunshine State Games this weekend, where we have rowers, stand-up paddleboarders, canoe and kayakers, and dragon boaters out the venue at the same time. The multi-use and what this is doing to our community, transforming us as a true amateur destination, is unbelievable. I mean, this is just topping the surface. I think that it just shows that all the hard work that Sarasota, Bradenton, what we really are, shows that we can pull off a great event of this prestige. And this means a lot for our community, and it's just the beginning. First and foremost, the rowing facility is a community public park, and we're building it for the actual user, and it's an economic impact. So it's both the best worlds. It's a community park and an economic impact for our region. It's only getting bigger and better, and through your support, we can make it happen.
Get ready to witness amazing feats of athleticism, endurance, and mental discipline over the next 3 days. A successful pentathlete must master a staggering array of skills to such a degree that it elevates the sport to an art form. Or, if you prefer a summer blockbuster, imagine Zorro meets the Pirates of the Caribbean. Of course, understanding modern pentathlon as art makes Sarasota Bradenton the perfect venue for this competition. We're already recognized around the world for our white sand beaches, but those who are most familiar with us best know how we treasure our culture and the arts, a discipline which reflects the values we hold most dear. To our community, quality of life means much more than personal comfort and something other than material wealth. Instead, we view quality of life as the product of a total commitment to mind, body, and spirit. That's why this elegant event is such a natural fit for our community. Indeed, a competition instituted to promote the complete athlete seems like the perfect match for a place that values the complete person. As you marvel at this competition, I believe that you will be even more impressed by the personal qualities of the competitors. Baron Pierre de Coubertin, the founder of the modern Olympic movement, said he designed the modern pentathlon to foster the complete athlete. I believe that he achieved much more, as modern pentathlon truly reflects character in motion. I hope you see what prompts you to consider anew the state of our human condition. Despite the serious problems in our broken world, we can still reach for greatness. Our children can look up to these pentathletes as role models and redefine to themselves what it means to be a champion. Indeed, this event offers our children a visual depiction of what real character looks like and what genuine victory means, perhaps enabling them once again to identify the face of hope. I want to thank our extraordinary volunteers. I have never seen such a commitment and met so many new people who are so talented. They gave their time, their extraordinary gifts, and their hearts. This event would have not happened were it not for our amazing sponsors as well. So please notice them on our step and repeat board as you leave. They came forward from the onset before anyone even dreamed of a pentathlon and helped us from the beginning. Tonight, we are here not only to honor the pentathletes, which is a military sport, as you may know. It began with the idea that in this complete athlete, that a soldier was caught behind enemy lines, so he must necessarily fight with a sword or swim across a river, or indeed jump on any horse available and clear 12 major obstacles, then run and shoot at the same time. Well, this is a military sport, and we wanted to honor our distinguished military tonight and thank them for the service to our country. Would you join me in thanking our honored guests? Major General Camille Nichols, the Deputy Commanding General at the Army's Installation Management Command, is here today, and for this weekend, she is supporting the 3 Army soldiers on the United States team that are part of the Army's world-class athlete program. We're so very honored to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Barry Matchett is the United States President for the pentathlon, the USA Pentathlon. Barry, we're very honored to have you this evening. I want to thank you all for being here from the bottom of my heart. This was an enormous community effort of Sarasota and Bradenton coming together. So we all thank you for making this possible. Now, would you please rise for the presentation of colors, followed by the parade of athletes.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, clouds bursting in air, came proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Color Guard may retreat. Our honored athletes, please join us below. It gives me great pleasure to introduce a man whose dedication and devotion to the modern pentathlon and the Olympic movement is unsurpassed. Dr. H.C. Klaus Schorman is a teacher by training, and his extensive commentary on the relationship between Olympic sport, modern pentathlon, and the arts has made him a leading light to all who hold the Olympic spirit dear. Ladies and gentlemen, Please welcome Dr. Klaus Schorman.
Dear Kathleen Harris, athletes, coaches, trainers, distinguished guests, my dear colleague, President of the Modern Pentathlon of the United States, Chair General, we are coming here together to celebrate the opening ceremony of the World Cup final after a long season for the athletes in Sarasota for the year 2014. All welcome. In the name of the Union, we are so pleased that the Modern Pentathlon Association of the United States took the initiative to send a bid for this World Cup final. And when we, Kathleen, met in Acapulco, where some of us have Acapulco not in the good meaning, but when we met there, we discussed already what you like to do for your society in this wonderful environment of culture, of art. Sport and art and culture belonging always together, as you know, in the Olympic movement. And we, a sport created by Pierre de Coubertin, we are the legacy of Coubertin. So we are an important part of the Olympic movement. And it's for me an honor as well to greet and to welcome an IOC member, a close colleague from us, Patrick, my dear Patrick Baumann. Welcome, representing the IOC as well in this evening here. And you allow me also to welcome a person very specially, why he did so much for our sport, serving over many, many centuries, many, many, many years, 10, 20, 30, 50 years. John Holland, our honorary member. You know, here we are athletes, former athletes. We want to bring our sport to your society. You are a city known by other kinds, theaters, entertainment, a lot of other things. And then we said, why not to touch this society with an Olympic sport? At lunchtime, we already met with some of your society, and they briefed me what is in your city and actions. And then I think we had a good communication saying, this is just the start for our sport in your city. Believe me. And this you're underlining. You know, sport without any support cannot really survive. But you, some young people said in the morning, sport people need patience. But I think also grown-up people like you, business, culture, whatever academics you are coming, you need patience for your life to achieve something. And that we want to do together. Our athletes on the highest performance the next 3 days. These are athletes, they're looking forward to the Olympic Games Rio de Janeiro in 2016. Also, already for 2020. While our sport is not a sport for a short time. The best athletes, they can compete 2, 3, 4 times in Olympic Games. So this is a sport for life. You start with kids, and you still can compete in Master Games. So this sport has a big value in education. And the theme, the idea from Coubertin was to create something for a long time, not only for a short time. You know, our symbol in our sport is an oak tree with deep roots. It doesn't matter what weather conditions can come, what discussions around your sport. But if you have deep roots, you will stay for a long, long time. You don't know why we chosen the oak tree. You should know that. 1912, at the Olympic Games in Stockholm, the organizing committee planted around the Olympic Stadium oak trees. This stadium was created by an architect, Groot. His son, Willy Groot, was later, 48 in London, the Olympic champion. So you see always how our sport have been active, doing something. And based in memory of Coubertin, we said, Stockholm 1912, first games. Let's continue as well with some special symbols in the Olympic movement for our sport. But let me say some thanks to all the sponsors, the media, and you mentioned what is very important, the volunteers. The volunteers are the key for an organizing committee, not only for World Cups, World Cup final, World Championships, as well for Olympic Games. Volunteers are so needed in all kinds, not only in sport, also in other kinds in our society. So therefore, feel invited the next day to stay together with us, to support the athletes on the highest level. And you're always welcome to deliver something from your side to our sport, the Olympic movement. And I like to say, we are an Olympic family, and you are now just joining an Olympic family. You will have another challenge. It's a kind of win-win situation for us and for you. And we are looking forward for future competitions in this new destination for our sport. And I like, in the name of the Union, officially open this World Cup final 2014 in Sarasota. Thank you.
We need Doug Russell here for you the Cooperstown Medal of Honor. Doug Russell.
Yes, I will do this now.
Don't light him up.
Yeah. You know, the part of our World Cup final is now to honor a person who delivered a lot for our sport, coming from the Army side. And you have to understand, symbolically, the Army is with us here, also in the opening ceremony. But the Army is one pillar of our sport. Now, most of the athletes, they are students, academics. So we have different pillars, but we are never forgetting our traditions. And Colonel Russell was an officer, a colonel just after the war, serving in Germany, together with another gentleman who later have written Olympic history for Germany in equestrian sport, Josef Neckermann, who was later Olympic champion in team and individually in dressage in the equestrian sport. And Colonel Russell in Germany built up the equestrian sport after the Second World War. Many people don't know this, maybe also not in your country, but I wanted to mention this in this evening. But he trained a lot of athletes, generations of athletes. He trained in San Antonio, where he was responsible for many, many, many competitions. Therefore, the Executive Board of the Union decided to award him with the highest award what we can give to a person who never have served in the Executive Board of the Union. This is a medal of Pierre de Coubertin. The Coubertin medal is like really a symbol that someone has delivered a lot to the Olympic movement. He is not able to be with us now, 94 years old, and based on some health conditions, we gave him really the advice, please stay in San Antonio, but hopefully his son is here. And if the son is here, the son should join us. He is also a person who has delivered a lot to our sport and still doing this, why I want to give the medal to his son, so that he gives this with a big hand from us to his father.
Part of our interest in honoring Colonel Russell this evening was not only his extraordinary accomplishments with the Olympics, but the nexus back to the pentathlon. He's trained the pentathletes, and as you may well know, he served under General Patton, who was the United States' first pentathlete. So we can bring this full circle in honoring our military as well.
First, I just want to tell you how wonderful it was to receive this invitation to attend your event. At the age of 94, you don't get too many calls. My first meeting with pentathlon was the London Olympics of 1948, where Biz Moore, an American, won a silver medal. And I still have seen lots of changes through the years, but I still think that pentathlon is the toughest event to get a medal on the entire Olympic agenda. I'd also like to thank Klaus Schorman, for making it possible for me to receive the Count Kelperton Award after all these years. Again, I'd like to thank the organizing committee for putting on this event, and I hope that it'll spread throughout the world that you can make this into quite an event. I want to thank all the organizers and good luck to all the athletes. Thank you.
In the name of the union, I'd like to hand over to you. We know each other also over so many years. And I know you will give some nice words to your father, who is really a symbol, like an icon in our sport. And you know that the equestrian sport is, the horses, is a special environment for our sport. And therefore, if a person spends his life for such an environment, is a strong meaning behind to respect environment. So therefore, give this to your father with all our love in our heart. Thank you.
This concludes our program. We wish the athletes all the best, the spectators, that you have great fun and bring your families. And again, to all of our volunteers and our sponsors, the biggest thanks. God bless.
Okay, this is the Italian team. My name is Riccardo, he's Nicola, and he's Fabio. And the two girls, she's Alice and Claudia. I'm from Rome, she's from Sardinia, he's from Modena, she's from Asti, she's from Rome too, like me. So the whole team is all around Italy. For us, we are really happy to be here. The venue at the moment is really nice, the organization is fantastic. So we're looking for the competition to respect the same level, the professional, the media, and everything. Me and him, our special is the combined event. It's the last sport that we do tomorrow, and he have the world record at the moment. And for us, he's our swimmer. Obviously, it's not the best, but it could be one of the best time. And the two girls are really good in fencing and swimming. And so we'll just try to do our best tomorrow and the day after tomorrow in the final. Yeah, we know that the Olympics is really long way, 2016, so we just try to improve every sport. Every day we are training together or at home, and then we just try to be better and better day by day. And then everybody have the same dream to go to Olympics, and then why not, probably get the medal, but you know, it's not easy. I think it's our first time in Florida, and the weather is perfect, and we just look around few times today, and the look is really nice. So we open our flight. We'll spend one more week when we finish the competition because we really like the venue, the place. It's so good. After us, the best athletes are from Russia, from Hungary, and Lithuania is the world championship. And also the China. Unluckily, it's full of people that could be the winner.
All right, well, I can introduce you that one thing that I know, it's the French team. And what's your name?
Valentin Prade. Valentin Belot. Christopher Pat. Philippe Markov. Jean-Pierre Guillemard.
Quel sentiment d'être ici en Floride, ça vous fait plaisir?
On est content. Venir aux États-Unis, c'est toujours bien.
They're very...
It's American dream for him. Yeah.
Now they say it's always a pleasure to be a part of the final cup, and especially in the US.
C'est toujours une bonne compétition de préparation parce que c'est la seule qui est sous le format olympique.
They say it's the only competition that is the same as the Olympic Games.
Comment vous vous préparez à ce genre de discipline, parce qu'il y en a quand même 5?
On s'entraîne beaucoup, on fait 30 heures par semaine.
30 hours of training per week.
Est-ce que c'est difficile pour vous de faire les 5 disciplines? Est-ce que vous avez une discipline où vous êtes meilleur?
On a tous des points forts et des points faibles.
On a tous des points forts et des points faibles, et le but c'est qu'on soit moyen partout.
Okay, so they all are, they have a forte and a weakness sport, and basically the goal is to be medium in everything. France, it's a world champion title. And they added that the Russian team maybe is their biggest opponent, and Hungarian. They already talked, they went to Longboat Key today. They love the beach, and they want to go to Orlando, have some fun, and they want to go to Siesta. I told them about the drum circle.
Well, I saw him in the crowd. Out of all the other uniforms that are here, I saw him in the crowd with his set of dress blues on, and he's got his Airedale wings on there, and he's got his flight medals and everything else. He just got back from Afghanistan, and this is what it's all about for your listeners and your folks out there in Manatee County. You know, here's one of our warriors at home, and he's also a pentathlete. Can you believe it? He finds time, flies helicopters, drops bombs on the bad guys in Afghanistan, then comes home and takes his own time to serve his country again by being a pentathlete in this great Olympic trials here.
It really is, and I thank you for the opportunity. I thank this area for hosting such a world-class event. USA Modern Pentathlon is very thankful for the support of the community, and we're looking forward to putting our best effort forth and bringing back some medals over the next couple of years. Great guys all around. It's wonderful working with the other services to represent our country in a different way. It's nice that nobody's shooting at us this time, and we get to go out and in friendly competition show what the U.S. Marine Corps and what the U.S. Army is all about. It's a privilege of a lifetime, both in combat and in athletics.
And for your listeners, just so they know that this pentathlon has a background in the military. During World War I, there was a French lieutenant did every one of these actions that were in the pentathlon, and it was shooting, riding a horse, swimming, running. He had to do all of this to get that message back to his general from the regiment that he was carrying a message for. So it has added meaning to our military guys here. And for me to have a Marine in this, that's the height. Well, this is the next generation right here. This young man will probably be one of our leaders wherever community he lands, and he'll be leading things like this great event here that Congresswoman Harris put on and the rest of the community. And as a sponsor, with one of my beer brands, Michelob Ultra, it's just a privilege to be associated with these athletes. Well, I just want everyone to realize that in a short couple days that we left 9,000 Americans dead on those beaches in Normandy. And many of them are buried there right now in some beautiful graveyards there. And I want to say to that greatest generation that sacrifice, that blood that was shed on those beaches, you made those gentlemen laying in those graves proud by what you did with your lives in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and the children that you brought up. Thank you all very much.
And absolutely, as we remember that greatest generation, we also think about those guys who are in the foxholes and out on the forward operating bases today who are still protecting our freedom, forward deployed so that we can enjoy evenings and athletic competitions like this. So
Hoorah.
Thank you very much. Semper Fi.
Hoorah.